This declassified CIA book reveals that Earth undergoes cataclysmic events approximately every 6,500 years, leading to the destruction and rebirth of civilization. This declassification CIA document, The Adam and Eve Story by Dr. Chan Thomas, reveals that Earth undergoes cataclysmic events approximately every 6,500 years, leading to the destruction and rebirth of civilizations. He suggested that these cataclysms are natural, recurring events that reshape the planet's surface and human history. In 1966, Dr. Chan Thomas published a book called The Adam and Eve Story, but it soon disappeared from public access after the CIA classified it again. The book talks about big disasters like pole shifts, mass extinctions, and the repeated destruction of advanced civilizations. It stayed mostly hidden until some parts were released years later. And now, only 57 pages are available, but they are heavily edited, leaving many questions about what the book really says. People are curious about why this book might be considered dangerous and why the CIA wanted to keep it a secret. Dr. Chan Thomas was an American electrical engineer and psychic who authored a hypothesis of global cataclysms involving radical shifts in Earth's electromagnetic fields that increase the viscosity of the crust, causing rapid continental drift. In this most notably described in his book, The Adam and Eve Story, during the 1950s, Dr. Thomas was a project engineer on Bell Aircraft's Rascal missile guidance system and Douglas Aircraft A4D Skyhawk program, and was later employed in the late 1960s by McDonnell Douglas to work with Robert Wood's Advanced Concepts and R&D team, which worked on UFO and other fringe science-related projects. The idea of pole shifts has interested scientists and caused discussions for many years. Charles Hapgood was one of the first to suggest this concept in the mid-1900s. He believed that the Earth's outer layer could move over the inner layers, making the poles change position. Hapgood's theory of Earth's crustal displacement said that these shifts could happen fairly quickly, resulting in major changes in the Earth's geography and climate. At first, many scientists rejected Hapgood's ideas, but he gained respect when Albert Einstein showed interest in his work. Even though Hapgood's theory did not become widely accepted, it opened the door for more research on how the Earth's magnetic poles might change. Today, we know that the magnetic poles do indeed shift, though typically at a slow rate. However, the possibility of rapid catastrophic shifts remains a subject of ongoing research. Dr. Chan Thomas, in his book The Adam and Eve Story, made a scary prediction about sudden pole shifts. He believed these shifts could happen quickly, even in one day. Yes, one day. Can you imagine? And cause major disasters. He said that these quick changes could lead to huge earthquakes, volcanic eruptions, and tsunamis, resulting in widespread damage. While most scientists are doubtful about such rapid shifts, the idea still captures the interest of researchers and the public. Throughout Earth's history, mass extinctions have wiped out many species, changing the course of life on our planet. Some scientists think these extinctions might be connected to pole shifts or other major geological events. One example often mentioned is the Younger Dryas period, about 13,000 years ago, a time of sudden cooling about 12,800 years ago. This period saw a big drop in global temperatures, which some believe was caused by a comet impact or a significant pole shift. These disastrous events have also led to theories about ancient advanced civilizations that may have been destroyed by sudden catastrophes. Supporters of these theories argue that evidence of these lost civilizations can be found in myths and unexplained archaeological sites. However, mainstream archaeologists are careful and stress the need for more solid evidence before changing our understanding of history. Flood myths are stories about big floods that are found in many ancient cultures. These tales, which describe floods that destroyed entire civilizations, appear in religious texts, oral traditions, and ancient writings worldwide. For example, Noah's Ark in the Bible and the Epic of Gilgamesh from Mesopotamia share many similarities, even though they come from different places and times. When we compare these myths to known geological events, like the Younger Dryas, a time about 12,800 years ago, when the climate changed quickly, we see some interesting connections. The Younger Dryas involved sudden cooling and melting ice, which caused sea levels to rise significantly. Some researchers think that these big changes in the environment might have inspired the flood stories in various cultures. They believe that ancient people, seeing the destruction from rising waters, passed down these stories to warn others about nature's power. Dr. Chant Thomas, in his book The Adam and Eve Story, goes further by saying these flood myths are not just exaggerated tales, but are based on real disasters caused by shifts in the Earth's poles and other catastrophic events. He argues that these myths are historical records of past disasters that nearly wiped out humanity. According to Thomas, our ancestors created these stories to remember these events and warn future generations about their reoccurrence. The idea that advanced civilizations existed before written history fascinates both scholars and enthusiasts. Supporters of this theory point to archaeological evidence like erosion patterns on the Great Sphinx of Giza and submerged cities off the coast of Japan and India, suggesting these lost cultures were destroyed by disasters like the floods in ancient myths. However, this idea is controversial and faces skepticism in the academic world. Many archaeologists and historians believe the evidence for these theories is either misinterpreted or not strong enough. The general view is that human civilization began about 6,000 years ago in Mesopotamia, with no credible evidence of advanced societies before then. And still, the ongoing debate continues to interest people, and new discoveries sometimes spark discussions. While the concept of ancient advanced civilization is still on the outskirts of scientific study, it encourages us to rethink what we know about the past and stay open to new evidence. Dr. Chant Thomas's predictions in the Adam and Eve story show a dark future. He warns that a quick shift in the Earth's poles could happen, causing disastrous events worldwide. He believes this shift could lead to huge earthquakes, volcanic eruptions, and tsunamis, possibly wiping out most of humanity in just a few hours. He thinks this disaster could happen soon, maybe even in our lifetimes. Scientists know that the Earth's magnetic field is always changing, and the poles can move over time. However, most geophysicists think a sudden and disastrous shift like Dr. Thomas describes is very unlikely. Right now, we understand that the poles may shift slowly or even reverse over thousands of years, but a quick shift causing a global disaster is not supported by current evidence. If Dr. Thomas's predictions were to come true, the effects on modern society would be terrible. Our essential systems like power grids, communication, and transportation would likely fail. This shift could lead to widespread destruction, chaos, and possibly a return to a dark age for survivors. Dr. Thomas's work makes us rethink our view of history. If he's right about pole shifts and recurring disasters, it means that human civilization is much more fragile and has gone through cycles of rise and fall more than we think. This view challenges the common belief that human progress is steady and uninterrupted. If disaster happens in cycles, it suggests that advanced civilizations have appeared and disappeared several times in Earth's history, each time erased by a major event. This idea changes how we see human history, suggesting that our current civilization is just the latest attempt at creating a lasting society. And given Dr. Thomas's theories, we should consider what we can learn for the future. If these disasters really do happen in cycles, it would be wise to prepare and build resilience so that if another disaster occurs, humanity can survive and rebuild more effectively. In 1966, the CIA classified the Adam and Eve story soon after it was published. This decision has led to a lot of speculation about why a book about ancient disasters and pole shifts would catch the attention of a government agency. One theory is that if people took the book seriously, it could cause a lot of panic. The idea of a coming global disaster, along with the government secrecy, might lead to unrest in society. Another possibility is that the book had information related to secret government research. The author, Dr. Chan Thomas, worked on classified projects at McDonnell Douglas, and some think he knew more about what was publicly shared. The CIA might have been worried about revealing technologies or ideas that could threaten national security. The sanitization of the 57 pages that were later declassified adds to the mystery. A lot of the text is blacked out, making people wonder what was removed and why. Some believe that the missing parts could contain more details about disasters or even government secrets. The exact reason for keeping much of the book hidden is still unclear. And this is on House and Wise by Vicky Verma. Please leave your comments. Thank you for your support. Finally, support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.